welcome back to While You Were Cleaning. Today I am super excited to be sharing with you a Dollar Tree tie-dye video. About a month ago I found these tie-dye kits at Dollar Tree and I've been really wanting to try them out to see how well they work, whether they work as well as more expensive brands. So we are going to be doing that in this video today. We're also going to be trying out Bleach tie-dye, which you do on darker colored shirts. So I have a whole stack of white and black shirts here that we are going to be working on today. I also have one canvas bag. So we're gonna see how this goes. I'm going to be trying these out for the first time. So if they work or they don't work, I'm still going to share it in a video with you so that you can see whether these kits from Dollar Tree work very well. So I hope you enjoy today's video. If you do, please hit that like button, please comment and subscribe, and we'll go ahead and start tie-dyeing. All of the items that I'm going to be tie-dyeing today are from Dollar Tree. They have these canvas bags in the store right now, and these are 100% cotton. So I just wanted to see how the dye would work on those. And then I found some white t-shirts in the store. It did take me several weeks to find some plain white t-shirts. I think a lot of other people are tie-dyeing too. So I did get a couple for my daughter, and then I got a couple for myself. This one here I didn't realize was 100% polyester. So I wanted to try it out anyways to see how well the dye would work on it. But it's better to get things that are 100% cotton in order to dye. And this long sleeve shirt is 100% cotton. These are the three colors of tie-dye that I picked up. They do have a few other colors in the store as well. I haven't seen these recently though. They do have some instructions on the back, but they are not complete instructions. So if you want pattern ideas, you'll have to look those up online. The first step for tie-dyeing, you'll want to go through and wet all of your shirts. So I got the 4 that I have. I dipped them all in this container of water. And then I just looked up some different designs online and just used some of the different techniques that they had for tie-dyeing. So this one here, I just pinched a portion of it and then twisted it to try to make a spiral pattern with the finished look. One of the easiest techniques that you can do is just to scrunch up your shirt and then you can put some rubber bands around it. I did about 3 rubber bands around each of the shirts, and those kits do come with rubber bands in them, but I had already had some other rubber bands out, and so I just used those instead. But you do get, I think, 6 or 8 rubber bands in each of the tie-dye kits. I'm trying out the tie-dye on this canvas bag as well. Now the instructions for this say to spot clean it, so I really wasn't sure how this would turn out, especially getting it completely wet at the first step. So it is really wrinkled. So I did just go ahead and do a scrunch pattern again for this one, just because I thought it would be the easiest since there's 2 layers of the bag. Put on some gloves before you start dyeing. I added water to the dyes and they all mixed up pretty well just adding the water in, except for the green one. It stayed a little bit separated at the bottom, but I was able to mix that up just fine. I also wanted to make sure to mention to you that you need to get your shirts or whatever you're dyeing, you need to get those completely ready before you mix the dye. The dye is only good for 45 minutes after you mix it, so get all of your items ready first and then go ahead and mix your dye after that so that you can just begin dyeing right away. I didn't really plan out exactly which shirts I wanted to be, what colors. I just kind of started using the dye at random. One thing that you will have to think about as you're dyeing is how the 2 colors will look together if they accidentally get mixed together. So blue and pink, if they accidentally get mixed together or they're right next to each other on a shirt and they get blended a little bit, they're going to make a purple. It's not going to be too bad. The blue and the green, if they get mixed together, there'll be a teal color and it won't be bad. But the green and the pink, if you mix those 2 and get those put together, it's going to just be a weird brown color. It's not really going to come out looking very nice. So just think of that as you are putting colors next to each other on the shirt. Just think about how they might look mixed together and make sure that you avoid putting colors that aren't going to blend together next to each other. There was plenty of dye in these bottles to do at least 2 or 3 more shirts. I ended up just going back and using up all the dye on these because I had nothing else to use it on. So just so you know, planning ahead, it doesn't really tell you on the package how many shirts the bottle of dye would be good for. Once I was done dyeing all of these projects, I just wrapped each of the shirts in its own individual grocery bag and then left them all sit for 24 hours. Now on the package it says 6 to 8 hours, but I just felt like that wasn't enough time, especially for a Dollar Tree dye that I wasn't really sure how it would stay, or on that polyester shirt that I had, really didn't know how well they would dye. So I left them for an entire 24 hours and I think that worked out pretty good for me. After 24 hours, I individually rinsed out each of these shirts in cold water in my kitchen sink. You can rinse them out in another sink or a bathtub as well. I just wanted to make sure that I did not splash any of the dye on any towels or shower curtains or anything, so I chose to do it in my kitchen sink. I wanted to show you how each of these items rinsed out so you could see what the pattern looks like after rinsing, how vibrant the colors are, and what they look like before putting them through the washing machine. This is that canvas bag. I don't necessarily like the way that this turned out. I think that the colors are a little bit dark. It did hold the dye, I think, a lot better than what the shirts did. So if you wanted to do some tie-dye on a canvas bag, maybe just some different colors besides blue and green would look better. After rinsing out all of these items, I did put them through my washing machine on a warm cycle with a little bit more of a gentle spin cycle, and a lot of the dye came out in the washing machine as well. The color was a green-blue color for most of the time during the rinse part and the wash part of the cycle. This last shirt I'm going to show you is the polyester one, and you can see how vibrant the color is here, and then the majority of it just completely washes out of the shirt. I did do blue and pink on this shirt, and all of the pink washed right out of the shirt. Here's how the polyester shirt turned out after washing. You can see it doesn't have much of a pattern left on it. And then here's that canvas bag. It did hold the dye very well. I'm not a huge fan of the colors, and the wrinkles do not come out. Here's the cotton shirt that I used the dark green dye on. As you can see, it really didn't hold the color very well. And then my daughter's shirts are the ones that I like the best. I think all the colors turned out the best on them. Again, the green turned out a little bit more of a teal color. Next, we're going to try out a bleach tie-dyeing method. I picked up 2 black shirts from Dollar Tree to try this on. You could probably use any darker shirts that you find there. I'm not sure how well this method would work on some lighter colored shirts. For this bleach tie-dyeing method, I did not get the shirts wet first. I just went ahead and worked with them still being dry. You can do it either way. You can wet them or leave them dry. The finished result is just going to be a little bit different. I did 2 different patterns for the 2 different shirts that I had. This one was a little bit of a side rainbow pattern coming from the corner of the shirt and working up to the opposite corner. And then for the larger shirt, I went ahead and did a spiral on that one again because I wanted to see how it turned out with the bleach. To add the bleach to the shirts, I'm going to be using one of these condiment bottles. You get 2 in a pack at Dollar Tree, and then I just used some bleach that I already had open at the house. I am doing this outdoors, but I again wore some gloves, and then I'm also wearing a face mask because I really cannot stand the smell of bleach. So I went ahead and wore a face mask for this, even though it was really hot outside. So I am just adding this bleach all over, and you can begin to see it work immediately. I waited a little bit in between each coat of bleach that I added, making sure that I added it to some places that I might have missed the first time around, like the edges and in the center. And then once the bleach sat on there for about 30 minutes or so, the longer you leave it, the more it's going to pull the color out of the shirt. But I went ahead and just waited about 30 minutes and then rinsed out each of these shirts. Your shirts are going to continue to bleach until you rinse them and wash them. So once they reach the color that you like, you want to go ahead and rinse them out quickly and stick them through the washing cycle. I really like this bleach method. It worked a lot faster than using the dye, and I really love the finished result better than the dye. So this is the spiral shirt that I did, and then this one here is that one that I pulled from the corner and added the rubber bands to make a little bit of a rainbow pattern. Alright, so that is everything that I have to show you in this Dollar Tree tie-dye video. I hope that this video has been helpful for you in order to see how the Dollar Tree dye works and then also the bleach method. Let me know down in the comments which of these is your favorite. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!